Yeah. So just a little housekeeping. If you feel something crawling by your feet, do not be afraid. That is Quanta, our center cat, that we like to call her. And she's very loving, so you don't have to worry about that. Thank you again, you guys. So we come from a theater background, so we're not unfamiliar with to be or not to be, or in this case, to begin or not to begin. That is the question. So I'm asking today, what is the answer? And the answer, no matter what, is always going to come from us, right? No matter how much assistance we get, no matter how much support we have, which I believe in that question that we're asking ourselves all the time, no matter what it is in our lives, we have to answer it for ourselves. And it's not always easy because that takes self-exploration. And I actually enjoy it, but I know this week it's been really wonderful to watch the group during class, just watch them go, wow, and I can see them going deep, but saying that's a little too deep. And you know that feeling, it's like, wow, that's really exciting, and then, well, that's going a little bit, let's just shut that door for a little while. We've all done it. But I think that we're in an energetic field, a quantum time in our life, that it's asking us to dive high and go beyond anything that we have ever believed we could be or do. I've been really getting it when I see myself in limited thought about progressing. I go, what would be the reason for that? And all of the old excuses are in what we call secondary cause. They're just stuff we've done so much habit for we. I know it's me. But the thing of it is, I have had so much habit that I don't believe half the things that I have been saying, but I've been saying them for so long, they became a part of me. And now I'm house cleaning and just completely remaking, redoing. And you know, it's an interesting thing. I think it's called, I want to make sure it's here. We really cannot remake anything. We can't redo anything. I think we do that. I work a lot in, as you well know, in the inner child. And a lot of times in my work, I wanted to go back and have a redo. And you can do that in inner child work, but you can't do it by going back there. By going back there to think you're going to redo it, or mostly redo someone else. The only thing that can be redone now, to begin again, we must let go of that past, but sometimes we have to visit it. I act like it's over here. This week was very interesting. I had a lot of inner child experiences. We have a podcast called From Woo Woo to Wow Wow. And we love it because we take the stuff that everyone thinks is so woo-woo, which is kind of like, oh yeah, do you know CSL Kaua'i? Oh yeah, the woo-woo. You know, and I don't know about woo-woo, but I know a lot of wow-wow that's going on in this place right here. But Rita was interviewing me. And we did this thing of her interviewing me about the inner child in the book I wrote, but mostly about my beliefs behind it, because I believe the inner child is the cosmic inner child. I believe this thing we call the inner child is the energy of God's self itself. And it is so powerful and so overlooked and so neglected. And I have tried everything to try to find a way to introduce the inner child in a way that everybody will get it. And guess what? Just to let you know, that doesn't work. The only important thing that happens is my passion behind my inner child and what I believe the inner child is craving for right now, and that is recognition. So it was interesting, a question that she wrote, a very good interviewer, by the way. If you get a chance, listen to it, it's on YouTube, Woo Woo to Wow Wow. And she said, Patrick, kind of like she didn't know me, you know. So, Dr. Patrick, tell me. But what she asked me was, what was my first discovery and release to really bring the inner child forward, to begin again my life that wasn't always so pleasant, but very, very beneficial to who the man is here. And I said, and I thought of it when, I wasn't going to say, it's not there, I thought it when Rita said about the past, and then going to first cause. So the way I got to my inner child was to discover it within me, was I realized that there was a part of me, though I had moved forward, was still living some kind of a war, is the best way to say it. Have you ever felt that we've been living wars in our mind? We've got them out there, but there are such wars that go on. Such, wars is the only word that's coming to mind right now. And so I was in deep, deep meditation. I mean, that was in my days of I was astral projecting, I was rebirthing, I was everything to say, who am I? And it was a wonderful experience. Do not interrupt my talk. But what I wanted to say is, so in deep meditation, I took a cosmic helicopter, if you want to call it that, and I took it in my mind, and I went in search for little Patrick, who was definitely fighting some war. And I realized that that little part of me forgot that the war was over. I want to repeat that. Little Patrick was not told the war was over, and we could begin again. So, lovely theatrical background, I got in the helicopter, I went zooming over, and I saw this beautiful little blonde boy running around, not knowing what to do. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Help me, help me, help me. And I took that helicopter, and I stood, and I don't like heights, by the way, but in my dreamscape, I can. And I went and I swooped that little boy up, and the helicopter took off, and I was left with this little part of myself who ended up being the huge part of who I am. And I was able to let him know, and it's took years to convince him, to convince me, the war was over. We don't have to fight anymore. There's no one coming after you anymore. No one's gonna hurt you anymore. All you're gonna get from this point on is somebody and someone who loves you, holds you, respects you. And there were times, I will admit, that I forgot about that moment in time. Anybody ever do it? Yeah, we have these revelations and then we forget it. And so I went and I had another conversation. My big thing with inner child work is you gotta dialogue, you gotta talk. I don't care if it's writing, however you do it. I am verbal so I can actually talk like that. And I said, I'm gonna make an agreement with you. I love you, and chances are I'm going to start getting busy and begin, and forget about you for a moment. I'm going to apologize now, because if it happens, I want you to know that, but I also want you to know that there is never a day that goes by that I will not love you, and if I am against myself, I will love myself even more. And that is the only way that I know for us to begin again, is to love ourselves. And Rita and I were talking about, because I'm about to think and do and be a TED Talk, and she said, you have to bring your inner child in it, or self-love. And then I realized, when my beautiful wouldn't stop at breakfast saying, you really got to do this, you really got to do this. I go, of course I do, yes I will. When? So, but here's the wonderful part about it, is to know that I realized you cannot use the word inner child without using the word self-love. It is all one beautiful thing. So, I don't know really where all of that came from, except that I'm really being called these days to know that no matter who we are or what we are, there is some part, call it whatever you want, that is just crying out, and it's not wounded. My inner child is not wounded or needs to be fixed. It needs to be understood. It needs to be loved. It needs to be held. It needs to be reminded you are magnificent. You have always been magnificent, and you're not broken. There is nothing broken about any of us. We just forgot who we were. The end. So I'm going to take you. Thank you. I'll take that. My inner child will take that too. I'm going to take you on a very quick 3-minute little inner child journey, because I thought it would be I was guided to do it today, and when I'm guided, I follow. So get yourself comfortable. Oh, and this is all about beginning again. Let's welcome in everything of good for our lives. Let's welcome in that inner part of ourselves that just is so powerful. And new beginnings are about returning to the inner child, allowing innocence, wonder, and courage to guide us instead of fear. So if you feel good, close your eyes. I know our beautiful Quanta is ready and in place here with her eyes closed. Now I want you to take a slow, deep breath. Yeah, one more, and let's let all the noise out that needs to be. And imagine before you a long hallway, quiet and filled with light. Along this hallway are many, many doors. Some are old, some are new. Some you've never dared to open. As you walk gently down the hallway, notice a door that draws your attention. It's glowing softly. This door is the doorway to your next beginning. Stand in front of it. Take another breath. And you see a child. That child is you. Call it whatever you want. It is your inner child filled with curiosity, wonder, and a sense of play. Take a moment to look into their eyes. See their innocence, their hope, their longing to explore. This child has been waiting for you. Waiting to remind you that it is safe to begin again. Now take their hand. Really feel it in your mind's eye. Feel their trust. Together, place your hand on the door, and no matter what you're doing, take a nice deep breath. And when you are ready, gently, both of you, as one, push the door open. Push the door open. On the other side is light, possibilities, a fresh chapter, a new beginning. Step through with your inner child and notice how free, how alive, how safe it feels to start anew. The celebration in every cell of your being knows that it is safe. Now pause for a moment in the quiet. Keep breathing. Now whisper to your child within. We are safe. We are free. We are beginning again. Let's say it together out loud. We are safe. We are free. We are beginning again. And when you're ready, take another deep breath and bring yourself back to this sacred space that has been created for all of us, carrying the feeling of that new beginning with you and the inner you. And when you're ready, open your eyes to the light. Give yourself a real big hug if you want to. And say with me if you choose, I love myself. And so it is.